Tyrone Football, well, they're in the news for all the wrong reasons. As Sean Kavanagh's selfie, was he in the hospital or was he out of the hospital at that point, or was he on his way to hospital? His selfie did the rounds yesterday, which has once again ignited the debate about the violence in club football and just how acceptable a certain level of violence seems to be. I don't know if this debate is ever going to get us anywhere. I don't know if we're just going to have this kind of circular thing. I don't know if people are going to try and say this is just Tyrone, because obviously, was it Friday night the footage of the brawl in the intermediate Tyrone club game came out? And then this happened on Sunday. We had Sean Kavanagh in studio last week, actually, and he had a scratch in his face, which I had assumed was from training.
Like, even playing international rules, there was a second referee, there was a video ref, and any of that sort of nonsense. There was always somebody to watch the stuff off the ball, because as a player, and even playing club football, if you know there's not neutral umpires or linesmen, you're able to get away with a bit more. And everyone sometimes in Ireland, I feel, puts it down to maybe a cultural thing, and that's just what we do. The supporters run onto the field and hit the players. Oh God, some cracks, just GAA. At some point we probably have to look at and say, is that a sport in which we want to promote? Is that a sport that we want, or that we need to compete with the entertainment of soccer?
We're going to play that interview out tomorrow, but off air afterwards we were just chatting about how the game has gone, and he was showing us pictures of some of his teammates and the nipping that happens these days, and he complained about that. He's got a lot more to complain about, unfortunately, today.
Yeah, it's like, if you're a person of violent disposition and you want to take your anger out on somebody and basically kick the shit out of somebody and have a good chance of getting away with it, then you should probably sign up to play club football. It's probably as safe an environment for any thug out there as any environment in the world, really. You're better off kind of getting onto a club football pitch than you are beating the shit out of somebody outside of a pub, because this stuff is going to go unpunished. This stuff has happened. It's happened on a worse level in Sean Kavanagh time and time again, and not just in Tyrone, not just in Ulster. Like, we can say that, like, we don't have any statistics to prove that it happens more in Ulster than elsewhere, but it happens on a notable level there quite often, to the point where we can be pretty confident that nothing will come of this. Like, this is probably as close as we will get to something happening, because it's a very high profile situation, but this is far from the first time that this has happened. It's disgusting, it's not going to change, and I can't really see any light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to these incidents that we see every single year in Club GAA. It's absolutely horrendous. Just look at his face. Like, it's just despicable. Like we stand over this, it's like this is our game, this is our culture that we're supposed to be so proud of, but it's actually something we should be embarrassed of.
Yeah, but it is definitely part of the culture. Like, and you're right to bring that up, that actually this has seeped into a point where it has become acceptable. It has become acceptable for the fans of the team, the supporters of the team, the teams in that game. 6 red cards, right? No straight reds. So that means each of the 6 had to get yellow and a black, or yellow and black, or 2 yellows, which means that each of those individual fouls happened, and then there were another 12 yellow cards as well, and this happened, and there was no card given for this because the referee appears to have deemed it to have been accidental. So, I mean, certainly there's all sorts of suggestions that video footage of the incident will emerge, and when that does, that'll be very interesting. So I await with bated breath the video of this. But even the responses when... So Sean Kavanagh tweeted this yesterday. Actually, somebody tweeted into Kieran Cunningham's timeline. That was the first I saw of it. And then, so you hit retweet on that. And then the responses are really interesting, because a couple of people are like, make a statement to the PSNI, you know? Like, it's kind of a little bit of victim blaming going on with that. And then the responses under that are tout and you know nothing, shut your cake hole. And it's like, all right, okay, that's how this works. That's how this works. We'll show you Friday's video now, actually. This is from an intermediate club game in Tyrone, I think. And so this one was doing the rounds, which kind of sets the scene for what happens over the course of the weekend. It's the lads arriving in from the side with all that piss and vinegar. They're the ones that should really... should really be getting the particular bans. But then, like, so everybody go, oh, this is just handbags, right? That's what people are saying. This is what happens in the aftermath of this. And then somebody gets banned, or the clubs get banned.
Then they appeal.
Yeah.
Then they get off.
They get great lawyers to come in and get them off.
Yeah, there's good GAA lawyers in Ulster.
And that's the crack. That's how it works. It's like, well, sure, It's not fair. It was just a bit of handbags. And those handbags beget the environment that allow what happens in the Sean Kavanagh incident to happen. It's like, well, sure, we're all supposed to be men here. I don't know.
Yeah, like the irony is that Sean Kavanagh is coming out of this weekend looking in a whole worse heap of trouble than Spike O'Sullivan is, for example. And Spike O'Sullivan got knocked out in brutal fashion, and Sean Kavanagh is waking up this morning after playing a game of club football, and his head is probably in a worse position. You know, he got concussed, broke his jaw today, broke his nose. Spike's probably just a little bit concussed after coming up against one of the most brutal knockout artists clearly in the world. So that's clearly where club football is at the moment. It's something that we shouldn't be supporting at all. It's supposed to be the grassroots of what this is all about as an organisation, but it's just disgusting. And there's clearly people in that, and I've got no problem saying it, that enjoy that. There's thugs in there. There are people who are bloodthirsty animals who just love to get in there and kick the shit out of somebody on a club football pitch, and that's just the way it is. There's just bad people in the world, and there's a lot of them involved in Gaelic football at the moment. How are we going to change it? I don't know. Like, there's literally no light at the end of the tunnel for this. How can you possibly solve any of these problems? There's just not enough coverage in terms of live cameras. There's enough people who are willing to hold the omerta when it comes to keeping these people safe, and there's enough good GAA lawyers, or there's enough loopholes in a crappy system to get away with all of this. We're going to be seeing this time and time again over the next couple of weeks. Like, buckle up, because we're going to see a lot of brawl videos over the next few weeks, and next year, and the year after, and the year after, and nothing is ever going to change.
To Triple G in Canelo, because
when was this?
This was Friday night. So the first one there, somebody goes to ground now. It's the crowd arriving in from the touchline. They're the brave ones, obviously.
Yeah.
We're coming in with momentum.
They do it, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Checking out the group WhatsApp there.
Yeah. There are some proper digs being thrown as well. Like, it's not just pushing and shoving. In the old days, a lot of this would have been pushing and shoving.
It's not really seen, the players don't really seem to be instigating it, does it? It's... Look at this guy now.
So, this is Treban and Stewartstown in the Tyrone intermediate football match. Like, I don't know.